Very good afternoon, students. So, how are you all? Hope you all are doing good. So, students, welcome to the online English classes. Our today's topic is the ailing planet, the green movement's role. So, this is a chapter from our book Hornbill, chapter number 5, The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role by Nani Palkhiwala. So, as the very title tells us, the ailing planet. So, the planet which is having ailments, and Earth is the only planet which is having the ailments. And what are the ailments? This we are going to discuss in the chapter. And what is the role of green movement towards the declining health of the Earth? So, all this has been contained in this chapter, and actually, this is actually an article which has been written by Nani Palkhiwala, which was published in the Indian Express on 24th of November 1994. And this article contains the issues regarding the declining health of the earth, which has continued to have relevance today also. So this is an article, and this is the green movement is the first ever biggest movement in world's history, which has catched the imagination of the entire human race so completely and so rapidly, so that this is a movement which stresses people to follow environmentally friendly practices, which started near 25 years ago. So the green movement started nearly 25 years ago, which has aroused the concern of the people towards the declining health of the earth. And the first Green Party was founded in New Zealand in 1972, and after that the movement has not looked back. It has moved on and on. And after this, the world started looking at the world from a mechanistic, from a materialistic to a holistic and ecological point of view, which means that for the preservation of the environment. It also refers to the understanding and importance of Earth's resources for the use of future generations. So, people started looking at the world from the mechanistic or materialistic to a holistic and ecological point of view. And there is also one idea given by Copernicus. So, Copernicus introduced an idea and also taught the mankind in the 16th century that the earth and the other planets revolve around the sun, and the earth itself is a living organism which has its metabolic needs and vital processes which need to be respected and preserved. So Copernicus has taught mankind that earth itself is a living organism which is having its metabolic needs and vital processes which we must respect and preserve. Now, Earth is also giving us the vital signs which reveal a patient in declining health. For example, pollution, ozone layer depletion, deforestation. So all these are the signs which tells us global warming, for example. So all these are the vital signs. So the Earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. So next comes that we have started, that human beings started realizing their ethical obligations to be good stewards of the planet and responsible trustees of the legacy to future generations. That we are the responsible trustees of the legacy to the future generations. Now comes the concept of sustainable development, which was popularized in 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. And in this report, according to the concept of sustainable development, this defined the idea as the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So that means we have to go for the development that meets the requirements of the present generation also, and which will not disturb the ability of the future generations to meet their needs. So that means we have to use our resources in such a way, in a sustained way, to keep it safe for the future generations also. So that is without stripping the natural world of resources, future world generations would need these resources. So we have to use these resources in a sustainable way. We have to go for the sustainable development. So this is the concept of sustainable development. And after this, there is a zoo at Lusaka, Zambia, in which there is a cage. So there is a cage. Outside there are the words written. Actually, there is a notice written outside the cage in the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia. And what are the words? That the world's most dangerous animal. So outside the cage it was written the world's most dangerous animal. And whenever we go inside the cage, there is no animal, only there is a mirror which tells us that themselves, that means we are ourselves are the most dangerous animal. Human being himself is the most dangerous animal. So this is a very good effort by the number of agencies of different countries through the zoo, which gives us a message, which creates a new awareness among the people upon the most dangerous animal in the world, that human beings themselves are the most dangerous animals in the world. He has realized the wisdom of shifting from a system based on domination to one based on the partnership. So this is a very good idea which gives us a message through the symbol of through a zoo. And afterwards, scientists also tells us that there are 1.4 million other living species also with which mankind is sharing the earth. And mankind is dominating the earth, mankind is disturbing the healthy life of the earth in such a way that it is disturbing the other life of other species also. So scientists have catalogued that there are 1.4 million other living species also which are sharing the mankind, with which mankind is sharing the earth. So we are disturbing, the human beings are disturbing the life of that species also. So one of the early international commissions in which there is an Indian member, Mr. L.K. Jha. So the commission was named as Brand Commission, and according to the first Brand report, it has raised a question. Actually, the first Brand report has raised a question that are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished or poor landscapes and ailing environment? That are we to leave for our future generations only a burnt planet without having greenery, without having plants, only having the deserts and poor landscapes and ailing environment? Actually, this question has been raised by the Brand Commission to arise the concern of the people towards the declining health of the earth, and what are we doing today for our future generations? Are we going to leave only the scorched planet of advancing deserts, poor landscapes and ailing environment for our future generation? So this is the first Brand report. And after that, one book named as The Global Economic Prospect by Mr. Lester R. Brown. It points out that there are 4 biological principal or main biological systems of the earth, and the 4th biological systems are fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands, and they form the foundation of the global economic system on which the entire human race is dependent, and human beings are disturbing these 4 biological system at a faster rate also. So these 4 biological systems not only provide us the food, they are also the raw materials for industry except the minerals and petroleum derived synthetics. So in large areas of the world, human claims on these systems are reaching an unsustainable level, a point where their productivity is being damaged. So we are using these biological system in an unsustainable manner, and because of which, when this happens, fisheries collapse, forests disappear because of the deforestation, grasslands are converted into barren wastelands, and croplands deteriorate. And in this protein conscious world in which youngsters are more conscious about getting the protein, overfishing is common nowadays every day. So because of this, fisheries has been disturbed, because of the deforestation, forests disappear. So we are disturbing somewhere, human beings are disturbing these for biological systems, and in poor countries local forests are being decimated in order to procure firewood for cooking, and in some places firewood has become so expensive that what goes under the pot now costs more than what goes inside it. That nowadays the wood which was very cheap earlier now has become so expensive. And after this we are losing a tropical forest also, which were known as the powerhouse of evolution, in which several species were living also, and with the destruction of the tropical forest we have destroyed that living species also. And it has been well said that forests precede mankind and deserts follow. So the world's most ancient patrimony of tropical forest is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year, and the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer also. So we are losing a tropical forest, because of which we have lost our several living species also. And the World Bank estimates that a five-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope up with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. So we need a five-fold increase in the forest planting to cope up with our loss. Now comes the president of the World Resources Institute, James Peth, who said that we are saying that we are losing the forest at an acre a second, but actually it is much closer to an acre and a half to a second. So that means it is more than that. Now comes the Article 48A of the Constitution of India, according to which the state must try hard to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife of the country. But unfortunately laws have been made in India but never enforced and respected in India. For example, casteism, untouchability and bonded labor shall be abolished, but they flourish shamelessly even after 44 years of the operation of the Constitution. Nowadays in the remote areas of the world these laws are again in not abolished. These are now in practice nowadays also in remote areas of the world. So unfortunately laws have been made in India but never respected nor is enforced in India. So now comes that India's forest over the last 4 decades, that a recent report of our Parliament's Estimates Committee has highlighted the near catastrophic depletion of India's forest over the last 4 decades, and India, according to the reliable data, is losing its forest at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year, but actual loss of forest is estimated to be about 8 times the rate indicated by the government statistics. Actually it is more than this. So the 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by United Nations also warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. And there can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factor in distorting the future of human society. So it took mankind more than 1 million years to reach the first billion. So by 1800, the world's population around the year was first billion. By the year 1900, a second billion was added, and by 20th century, 3.7 billion was added. So present population is estimated to be about 5.7 billion, and every 4 days the world population increases by 1 million. Fertility falls as income rises, education spreads and health improves. Thus development is the best contraceptive, but development itself may not be possible if the present increase in number continues, because the rich are getting richer and poor are begetting children, which condemns them to remain poor. More children doesn't mean more workers, merely more people without work. But there is no alternative to voluntary family planning without introducing any element of force. So the choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. So the population of India is estimated to be 920 million today, which is more than the entire populations of Africa and South America together. So this is more than the population of India is more than the entire population of Africa and South America together. And for the first time in human history, because of the green movement, we see a transcending concern, we see a concern in the human beings that we have begun to take a holistic view of the every basis of our existence. People started realizing their responsibilities. So the emerging new world vision has ushered in the era of responsibility, and industry has played a major role in this era of responsibility. And on this, the chairman of DuPont, Mr. Edgar S. Bullard, who 5 years ago declared himself to be the company's chief environment officer, he said that our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we excel in environmental performance only, that if we have to become the leading manufacturers of the world, we have to be excelled in environmental performance. And after this, Margaret Thatcher, during the years of her prime ministership, said that we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children. So this is a very good line, that we are not the owners of this earth, we are not going to use this earth for lifetime, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, actually we have borrowed it from our children, which we have to give back to our children in a good condition. So this statement has been made by Margaret Thatcher. So all this is about the ailing planet, which tells us about the earth, that the planet earth is having ailments, various ailments, and because of the green movement, people started realizing their responsibilities towards the declining health of the earth. And what were the various points which according to the green movement, all this has been contained in the chapter. So this is all about the ailing planet, the green movement's role. So regarding any doubts, please ask me anytime. So next is your questions. Discuss that what are the lines in the text that support the title ailing planet. So all these lines from the text of the chapter, these tells us that support the title ailing planet. Next is, what does the notice the world's most dangerous animal at a cage in the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia signify? That means it tells us that human has deteriorated the planet from a long time, that his own survival is under threat now. Next question is, how are the earth's biological systems being depleted? That is fisheries, grasslands, forest and croplands. So how these are being depleted? This we have discussed in the chapter, so go through this question also. So these are the textual questions discussed. Why does the author aver that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society? So the author avers that the growth of human population, world population, is one of the strongest factor behind the distortion of the future of mankind, because overpopulation leads to unemployment, rise in poor health conditions, and ultimately poverty, and it deteriorates the environment and the four biological systems also, and the rich are becoming richer and the poor is begetting children only, which leads to the poverty only. So development is the best contraceptive, which will lead to more employment, rise in health conditions, and improvement in education, and also it will result in a reduction in fertility rate. We have to choose between population control and keeping up with poverty. So next questions talking about the text, you have to discuss. Laws are never respected nor enforced in India. How? You have to present your views. So discuss this, and from the chapter context, discuss, are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes, and an ailing environment? This is according to the Brand first Brand report, of which Mr. L.K. Jha was a member. So how? So this has been raised by that Brand Commission. So discuss this. discuss this. We have not inherited this art from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children, by Margaret Thatcher during the first prime ministership. So discuss this also. This has been discussed, please go through it. Discuss the problems of overpopulation that directly affect our everyday life. So as you all know, what are the problems of overpopulation that is affecting our everyday life. So of course it leads to lesser education, low health facilities, which results in more problems like the rise in harmful diseases, fertility rate. The natural resources are being consumed at a very faster rate to fulfill the need of the population throughout the world. So deforestation is one of the issues. So all this results in the global warming, and if the population is not controlled, it will deplete the environment and the earth. So these are the problems that are affecting our everyday life. So next is thinking about the language. These are few of the words, few of the phrases you can say, and with their meanings, go through it. And working with the words, these are a few of the words from the text, and please read out their connotations. And you can skip this, but if you want to go through it, you can go through it. There are some words and the literal as well as the figurative senses of the lines also. So all this is about the Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's role, with the question answers. So go through it, students, and regarding any doubts, please ask me anytime.